Shut the door!
You just watched our very first cold open from the pilot of Big Trick Energy. I'm Wes Barker. I am 1/4 of Big Trick Energy, 1/4, 1/4, 25%, however you want to look at it. I am one of the 4 guys on Big Trick Energy, but I'm the only one talking to you right now. This was our very first cold open. This one was like, the pilot. Our main goal was to sell to the network the idea that it's so fun to do an elaborate, huge, loud, expensive trick at the beginning of every episode, and then at the end of every episode, reveal how it was done. And this one does all that. Dropping a car onto porta potties, yes please, in a junkyard with a band. And there was no template to how we were doing the cold opens at that point. Like, this is the first one. We just said, let's do it. So we knew we wanted it to be one shot. We knew we wanted to have no camera cuts, and we knew we wanted to have a musical element that sort of got added later. As soon as it was said, it was like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I think that was our showrunner, Mark Effman. That was his idea, to be like, let's throw some music in there and make it kind of larger than life, and that was really, really a good call. Let's break down exactly what's happening here. I'm really excited to show you guys. Let's just start by saying, how good is that? Whatever, that music is just so like haunting and perfect. The juxtaposition between that music and the junkyard, it just seems good. And us walking, our first on-camera appearance for Big Trick Energy, the 4 of us walking, it's just a really good group shot. And here you can see, Alex is obviously trailing a little bit far away. Alex, get closer. We told you 40 times, stand closer. And you can see the car hanging up here. This is the aerial shot of the car hanging above the porta potties. As you can see, it's only over the 3 porta potties. And there's a little wall built right here. You don't have a good angle on it yet, but that's a wall in case when the car falls, shrapnel hits us or something. We'll get to that later. Super scary. So yeah, this is the moment. And like I said, it was our first one. This isn't a very complicated one on the surface, but there's a lot of things that were going wrong here. One of the main things that was going wrong is those shadows. You have a good look at those shadows right here. Those shadows are a pain in the ass because we spent all day setting up, and now the later it gets, we're almost going to be out of light, and those shadows are about to give away the method, and we can't have that. So, let's watch them. I love this pan over to them. So good. They look awesome. And here we are getting up to our spots. We wanted to stagger the entrance here. So you can see Alex arrives first because we are about to run out the back of these things. There's like little trap doors, which you'll see in a second. But Alex has the furthest ground to cover, so we need him to get a head start. Boom. There it is, right there. You can see Alex busting out the back right away. So we had these porta potties gimmicked, gaffed, rigged out, cut open. I don't know. They cut the back open so that it flaps like a really rudimentary trap door. But down here, look down here, you can see like Chris has got his door wide open there. It still looks like the back's good, and that's very important. You couldn't just cut the back off. When you open the door, you'd see right through. So we have to have the back still shut, but when you open it and you push through, you have to be able to go out easily. Alex is out the back, watch. I know I'm stopping this a lot, but this is very important. Alex is staying super low here. There's piles in the back. It looks like you can see in between these porta potties, right? Because you can. But that isn't all one pile of cars back there, okay? Those are like smaller piles of junk in front of those cars, so there's a gap. Now see, everyone's down, really low, hustling. I have the easiest job at this point. I literally just went through mine, and I'm standing behind that wall. You can see the wood wall there. I showed you that from the top. That's it from the side. I'm just went right through the back of mine, and I'm just hiding there, holding my door open, waiting for these guys. Okay, I'm gonna pause here because this is a really key spot. You can see those 3 guys are up there. They already come around. They didn't really give us a top-down angle earlier, which would have been nice. But basically, all 3 of them ran here, here, and here. So they have a little path to go behind. But when you look at it from the front angle, like the main shot, it looks just like garbage. But if you were to stand up right here, you'd see someone just poop right there. You could just see them and their heads standing up. I got the backs rigged up here. They're preparing how they're going to be open. Alex practicing, so that's exactly what that looks like. And he's got to get low, so he has to get really low, lower than that.
Alex, you got to go really low, bud. Tes genoux sur ta poitrine. Tes genoux sur ta poitrine, guys.
Yeah, he can hear Eric yelling at him to go even lower. It's true. He had to go so low. We only have one set of porta potties, and we only have one car to drop. You know, it's very one and done kind of situation. So you can sort of see me here holding that door open. You can just catch the top of me just a bit there. I'm holding it open, waiting for those guys to come. So now we're all hanging out, huddled there. I have a picture of where the car was, just hanging above us. It is so insanely close to us, and it's gonna free fall drop, right? The guy in the crane is gonna hit it, and it just goes whoop, whoop. And it's only dropping what, from 15 feet probably, but we don't know which way is it gonna roll. Is it gonna roll towards the camera, away from the camera? Are those porta potties gonna split out sideways? That's why they built us the safety wall. And that's also why we have to stay behind the wall. We're not allowed to get into this porta potty yet, into the final one, because ideally you just all jump in there and it would be fine. They didn't know. So the safety wall was a super good call, and the angle that it's on is perfect because you can't see it when you look straight on. That's why they didn't build it straight back. You would have caught some. So they found that perfect angle. It was real cozy, real cozy for sure. And I don't know if you've seen Chris or Alex. They're big guys. As soon as it's clear, they drop the car. There was two things that was going to happen. The car was going to roll backwards or forwards. This one you can see it hit, and it's going to roll backwards. I mean, either one we were prepared for. I guess safer for the camera crew, even though they're quite far back, but still probably the safest way was for it to roll backwards. But a nice, good, clean crush on everything. Our magic consultant from this one was different than the rest of them. His name is Chris Martin. Did a wonderful job. Designed this whole thing with these piles and spacing, and just really did a top-notch job of making this cold open really cool, and found all the right guys, because whenever you do something dangerous like this and no one gets hurt, that is the key. That's a win. That's how you know you won. Check out this car falling in slow motion. Look at this. Oh, so, I mean, that video right there makes me so happy. It just looks so good. Out the back.
Oh yeah, Alex, yours is weird.
Yeah, I see that they were trying to cut it a little bit. They didn't want to cut too much there, or else, like I said, it was going to fly open and you'd see it on the other side. So they were doing the minimum amount. It was lots of little details, little. Okay, try now. Cut a little bit more. Try now. Here's another exposed angle here. You can see our buddy Tim here being guided back on the Steadicam. They always do that for leading camera guys when they're going backwards, or else they might fall, because the camera guy has to do nothing. Just trust whoever's leading them and just keep filming. Very hard to do, very stressful, so good on them. We have a guy with the table there, because as soon as our main camera guy gets in place there, they're going to slide the table in underneath him so he can actually just sort of slowly set it down. Not even really set it down. You kind of just hold it steady, and they crank the table up so it catches the camera so they can hold it, and it's all a perfect shot after. They have an air horn so they let the crane guy know that we're totally clear. And that's key, right? Your signal's got to be right on so there's no miscommunication. One air horn means we're clear. The second air horn means you can drop it. Oh! Oh, that's so good. Let's finish watching this part and I'll explain a little bit more. So now we're all crowding in. Now this is the trickiest part. There's one person back there. That's not us. That's one of the safety stunt people, and she's there to push the door closed and like cram us in, because that door has to be shut by the time we open the other one. So you really have to fit 4 grown men in there, because you don't want to accidentally open that front door before the back door is shut, or else people are going to see through and see how it works. And like I said, we only have one take at this. I mean, we can't just be like, oh, sorry, start again. We left the back door open a crack. No, so this lady was there and she like squished us in. I'm there with my pants down, trying to look like I'm on the toilet, and the other guys are there, like Eric's on my lap, and Chris is smushed up up against the door like this, and then as soon as the door's closed, I'm like, okay, like this, and then he pops open that one, and that's why when we come out, we all kind of spill out. That's not acting. That's just how tight that sardine can is right there. Like, we literally come pouring out of there because that's how stacked it was. And then right here.
Shut the door!
Now this right here, Alex doesn't clear out of the way. He holds it with his foot, which we didn't rehearse that. Even though we ran this thing like 30 times in rehearsal, he never once did that. So it really threw me off that he did that. I mean, it makes sense because my line was to scream, shut the door. I guess somebody had to hold the door open. We didn't really think it through. Obviously, Alex thought it through. I thought he was just gonna spill out and leave, and I was gonna hold like this, be like, shut the door, and then let it slam. That's like totally a logical thing to do. So Alex made the right call here, but it really threw me off, and he was awkwardly holding it with his foot. I made fun of him a lot for it. I thought it was ridiculous, but turns out it was actually really smart. And you can see them blurring here. I had my underwear on still, but I did have my pants down. With the amount of blur they used, I probably could have got away without even having my pants down. But like everything in this show, I'm glad we did it for real. Look at that close-up of my face. You can hear the crew cheering. Love it when the crew cheers. That's always a good feeling. And that one truly was. It was the first time we'd done anything huge together as a crew. One chance to get it right. One take. The day is getting late. We've been setting up for hours. It's hot. We're in a junkyard. We got the paramedics standing by. We got a car hanging overhead. We don't know what's going to happen when it drops. And everything went off without a hitch. The car fell the right way. The porta potties crumbled. Hell, we didn't really know. Was it going to hit the roof and just fall off? Were these porta potties actually going to crumble? I don't know. Did we need a bigger car? We didn't know. When there's no template, no one's ever done it before, how are you going to know? You're literally taking like whatever these things cost. I don't know what that costs. $40,000 to make that happen. I don't know. And then you got to look at it and go like, wow, all of this money and everyone's time, and then who knows, right? Like, who knows? It's so crazy to me. I love this one so much. And this last week, season 1 of Big Trick Energy aired its finale. It's, 10 episodes. It's aired now. That's the end of season 1. So I started thinking about the very first episode, a little nostalgia, thinking back on the season, and I thought, let's go through that very first cold open, the pilot one, because it is so fantastic, and it really did help sell our show to the network. When you make a pilot, you just hope they buy it, right? You're like, oh, here's what we think looks cool. Do you want to see more of this? And this cold open really, really helps seal the deal. It's got that cool music. It's got the real nice, sexy shot. The junkyard's kind of wild, and then a real loud bam, and a really, really solid magic trick. So I love it. Huge shout out to Chris Martin, who was our one and only magic producer on this particular episode. I mean, our whole crew, camera guys, safety guys, stunt guys, everyone came together and it was perfect. Nobody made any mistakes. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. At that point, that was probably the most nerve-wracking thing ever, is having that car hang over us. Chris was extremely nervous about it. I don't think too much. I just try and ignore things like that when, something's kind of dangerous happening. I just pretend like it's not. But Chris kept being like, holy crap. And that was kind of freaking me out. So, and rightly so. I was happy that it all went off without a hitch. I kept thinking, what if we were leaning up against that wall and then the car rolled and hit it? Would it like break our spines? I don't know. But then I try not to think about it. Just try not to think about it. I love doing these behind the scenes. We have still, let me count it, 3 more. So, for the next 3 weeks, I want to see you guys here on Monday and just bring like 1,000 of your closest friends, and then hopefully we get some more subscribers. I really would like to see those subscribers go up. I gotta replace this plaque because it's getting old. Let's get old. So if you can help me with that, much appreciated. Thanks for joining me. See you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.